Coach, obviously you're coaching two different groups, and you have Coach Frigno helping with the special teams, but does it make your life easier when you just trust those three guys to lead themselves and do what they need to do?
Well, I think the first thing about them is they're their own entity, man. They're automated. They do everything on their own. Obviously, I think the best way of coaching those guys has been, and obviously it helps when they're a veteran crew. When it's a young crew, you're working just to get them from A to B and know where you're going. But that crew that's been here a few years and they know each other and they're good, they're good together. We lay out a plan for them every day. We give them the things that we need to focus on for that day, and then they go and attack. And I tell you this, they've done a great job of attacking what we've asked them to do, not only in the off season, but every day in practice. Because the one thing about specialists, man, you're sitting there and you might have a 10-minute period, but then what are you doing for the other hour and 50 minutes, right? Something. They can't kick all day, so they're out there working on different things that are going to help us in the special teams game. And every time I see them, they're doing something, man. It's awesome.
Who are you kind of seeing as the leading candidates to be the gunners and the returners?
You always ask me this.
I do.
This comes from your boss, right?
No, this one comes from me.
Okay, so you want to know about the gunners. Well, I think we're blessed with a couple of good guys. I think Shaw Smith-Wade is really good. I think Lampkin is very good. And I think there's a host of guys underneath that. They're going to, be in contention. I think Zion Nunley's right there. But I like where those two are at, and I feel like going forward, that'll probably be our two.
And then just switching to the tight ends, you have, it seems like those four guys with Cam, with Andre, with Cooper, and with Billy really rotating in pretty constantly with the ones and twos. And then obviously you've got Trey as well. Where do you kind of see that playing out on the field with kind of who's getting reps and when?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing about what we're doing is we're trying to make sure we expose every tight end, every play we got, and that's hard because we do have a pretty diverse play selection. So getting those guys the reps of each play and trying to more manage it, I don't necessarily go, okay, look, you're starting, you're going here, you're going there. I literally look at the script, go, okay, how many plays is this? What play has he had? What play does he need? And we try to kind of allocate it that way, right? And then we try to make sure we balance out the reps to where we're all getting just enough and not too much, not too little, right? So it ain't too bad. Those four guys are a lot like the specialists, though. They're becoming veteran crew. This is their second year together, and they kind of know the expectations, and they've done a pretty good job of kind of governing themselves when need be. They really have.
I was Coach thinking about this yesterday. Just kind of curious your thoughts on the Guardian helmets that you guys seem to use, especially in the trenches, and maybe how they're kind of helping with the prevent concussions and keep guys protected?
We've used them a couple different places I've been. I think when I was in Portland, we used them. I don't know the science or the statistics behind it. It's not my world, but I know when I talk to the kids about it during practice, they like them. Especially the trench guys. So, I mean, if the kids like them, it makes them feel better, and we're doing something to promote safety in the game, then I'm all for it.
So when it comes to getting into the scrimmage tomorrow, just anything that you've worked on in the past or what you're kind of expecting from the special teams group, like what you want to see from them come out in the scrimmage and what you've maybe been working on that you're hoping now will show up in real-time game situations?
Well, I think when you get to scrimmage too, it's all the phases. You've got all 6 phases out there. We're going to run all of them, and we're going to evaluate some guys in some different positions to see who, as we move out of the scrimmage, set the finite depths that we're going to work on next week to get prepared for Colorado State. And so what you're looking for is you're looking for guys that are going to line and assign, guys that are going to execute. Yes, I know it's cliche. Yes, everybody says that. But I think in between the lines, you're looking for some toughness and technique as they play, right? So when we turn on the tape and we're watching them go down, kickoff return, pump return, are we seeing the effort level strain that we want? And is the technique there that we're trying to get accomplished? Because if we are, then we're making strides from that standpoint, and we feel like we'll be in good shape, right? If not, then we got to maybe get another guy in or work a little harder with that guy, whatever the case may be, until we got 11 guys doing exactly what we want, how we want.
And then kind of the same thing, but just what you're expecting to see or what you're hoping to see from that tight end group in the scrimmage tomorrow.
Consistent level play. We want to see them right here. Want to make the plays that we're supposed to make. We want to make sure that our line of sign is great. We want to make sure our technique is on, and we want to make sure that our ball finish, strain finish is at an all-time high. And then, whatever plays happen, that's it. I mean, the nature of our position is we're subject to whatever's called. If they call 10 personnel, we're not in the game. So 11 personnel, 12 personnel, when we go in, we got to do our thing and show that, we can contribute and we belong on the field.
It seems like this year the tight ends are more involved in the offense than they ever have been in at least quite a while here. I'm curious, like on an emotional or like energy level, what does that do for the tight ends, in the room?
Well, I mean, if you really look at it, okay, much more than we were last year and 115% more than it was 2 years ago, considering there was no tight end for about 10 years here, right? So in that regards, I feel pretty good about like where we're going, right? But we're nowhere near where we want to be. The biggest thing that I love about what Coach Arbuckle has brought and what he's doing is he's incorporating them, and he came in with a fresh mind, fresh start, and said, show me what you can do. And that's all you can ask for, right, guys? You get out there and you get an opportunity. What do you do with it? And that's what I love about it. And we've had our moments of great, done good things, some successes, setbacks. But at the end of the day, I think watching his system and how we fit in it and what he does with them has given him opportunity to show what we can do. And that's what we want to do on game day.
Does it seem like that kind of like get the guys going, just knowing they're going to be more involved, at least like in the passing game? I'm curious kind of what that does for those guys.
I think when he walked in, he said, I use the tight ends. Okay, and then we watched all the tape, and I said, oh, well, he does use the tight ends. So when we sat down, you sit down in front of the players, much in a room like this, and say, hey, guys, we're going to use the tight ends, and it's words. And then all of a sudden, they start seeing it throughout the practices and how many plays we play, and et cetera. And, it's real. So, yeah, it brings an energy to it. It brings an excitement to it. It brings a sense of value to it. So our guys are thrilled to be in that position, and we need to own it, and we need to we need to be the tight ends that he needs in this offense to win.
With these three specialists, I know you guys still have this last year to go, but when you look back at this year, whenever it gets over, what do you think you'll miss most about coaching these three guys?
Three guys? So who do we only lose Thicker, right?
Well, I'm curious, just like the three that you had that you had here.
Oh, we do lose Simon too, yeah. No, the biggest thing, I guess I don't really think about it like that. I kind of focus on more of a present guys trying to stay in the now, but at the same time, inevitable they are going to be out. So I think just the camaraderie, that group's really tight, and the personal interaction and the relationship piece that you have working with those guys is awesome. It is different than other positions where you work more with them than you do over them. So going to really miss kind of just the interaction between those guys. They're a fun group. They are.
Just, it seems like Andre Dollar's a lot more polished than he was last year. It seems he's a little more kind of comfortable in the offense. What have you seen from Andre?
I mean, a 180, and unfortunately, Andre got in a situation where we had to play him last year because of depth purposes, and he went in and performed as well as he could. But I think the one thing that is great about Andre is he's healthy. He's worked his tail off in the off season. There's a better weight to him. There's a better distribution of that weight, and there's a better core strength level in that kid. I think he's always played hard, but I think he was missing those components to be productive. And I think we're starting to see that transition come from a great offseason and watching the kid go out there and play. And I think it's awesome. I'm really excited to see where he goes, especially knowing that we got him for about, 3 more years. So, I mean, he's got a shot. He's doing a nice job.